Hello, 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 and we should be live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome in. We're just gonna give it a minute or two before we start the interview. But yeah, I'm here joined with Lyoko. Lyoko's done interviews
Hello.
here in the past for previous Minecraft Survivor contestants on the Nile and from other seasons past. And he'll just be asking me questions about production and how, I run the series and, maybe tease a little bit of season 9. I've done 9 seasons of Minecraft Survivor over the course of 5 years. So maybe you guys will get a little bit of insight of, what goes into the production of a season. So let me just send this live stream out to my Discord and we'll get started.
Woo.
Yep. Okay, so there are people watching. Cool. Copy link.
Whoa.
Alright. Add everyone. And I'll try to take a look at what people are saying in chat, just so that, we can try to make this kind of like a interactive experience, if you will. Can't wait. Alright, cool. Yeah. Hi, Green Tip. Hi, Gary Busby. Hello. We're
Welcome.
live with Lyoko's interviews. Come. Maybe I'll answer one of your questions. Alright. So we'll wait for a couple more people to join, and then we can just get started.
Yeah. Thanks again for having me on the server. So that's what the boot list order of the season is right in front of me.
No. Let's see.
No, I'm kidding.
Alright, we got 9 people here. Hi, Shay. Hi, Bagsy. I see some familiar names from previous seasons of people who have watched the series. Hello, Golden. That's a former alumni right there from the Nile. Let's see what else.
Hello.
Hi, Kajmi, another former alumni in the chat, season 7. Welcome in. Guys, let me know, is the volume okay? Is the volume okay with me and Lyoko?
Yeah, are you able to hear both of us?
What's up, Lemon King? Meow. Shane Corcoran, hello. Bagsy, I just finished season 1. Awesome. Golden says the volumes are okay, so sounds good. Oh, wow, we got 16 people watching. Okay. You know what? As we wait for more people, I'll talk to chat for a little bit. I'll take like 2 more bites out of my pasta, and then we'll just get started. Shay, sounds good. Alright, cool.
I finally made it on the channel.
Alright, Lyoko, I want to answer some of these questions, but I don't want to ruin your thunder if these are in your list. So let me know, because I see Bagsy's question. How long does it take you to make everything for each season? And favorite and least favorite season if you had to pick one. Are these in your list so that we can save that for later?
If you're in the list, you can answer this one I just got. What type of pasta are you having?
Alright, we'll save Bagsy and Shane Corcoran, we'll save that for later. Shay, type of pasta, it's penne alla vodka with chicken. Grilled chicken. Carrie Busby is season 10 of Returney season. I'll tell you this much, Carrie. I do seasons 1 at a time at this point, just because I don't want to promise another season if I can't deliver. But, I have a couple ideas cooking up for a potential if we were to go that route.
Treat every season like it's the last, because you never know what it might be.
Lemon, is there a player you wanted but couldn't get? Oh. I'm trying to remember. I would have to pull up my Google Drive. I would have to go through, like, the spreadsheet. Let me see if there was someone, that I don't mind answering that question to from, like, this past cycle. I also have the Minecraft wiki up here, guys, just so that I can do a little cheating in case I need to reference something that I don't remember, because it's been a while. I'll be honest, it's been a while since I've looked at Minecraft Survivor content. I mean, a year and a half will kind of do that to you. Let's see. Just gotta find the right one. Someone that we
how
really
long
want. I don't know if there's necessarily someone that we really wanted that we couldn't get, Lemon, just because there are people that we would like to see on, but we can't put them on the same season just because, um, in I guess for like the sake of fairness, that sort of thing. Yeah, that sort of thing. So I would say for the most part we've gotten. Oh, you know what? No, Lemon, I lied. There's someone from season 3 that like applied, and he had like I forget what his name was. Hold up, let me see if I can find it. Because he was a big time YouTuber. He had like 100,000 subscribers, and he said, "Yo, if you ever do another one of these, let me know. I would totally be down to like play in one." And so I tried to keep in contact with him, but I guess he just was like, you know, he wasn't interested anymore. Because he was just like, he takes forever to like make these seasons, so we kind of lost contact with him. Let me see if I can find the name, or at least the YouTuber, the channel of the person that said he wanted to be on the season. Haven Hand, if YouTubers with 100k subs are welcome back, can I play again? Oh my god. This is really funny. This is really funny, Sugar. And because like, I was in the Philippines recently, right? And so I got bored one day, and I just YouTubed, like, Mr. Beast, because I remember he did a Survivor related video, and it was so I googled Mr. Beast Survivor Island video, and you wouldn't believe what video came up. It was a video from Haven Hand, aka Sugar from season 5. People, if you don't know who that is, doing a like hardcore Minecraft survival mode video, and it like hit like 1 million views, and I'm just like, holy crap, this is such a small world that we live in. Because I'm just like, I remember that guy. And so I was just like, geez. So honestly, props to you, man, for like killing the YouTube game and like figuring out how to like, I guess, work the algorithm and like beat the system. Because like that's something that like I'd say a lot of people would envy, like smaller channels and the success that you have. So
you may not have success in personal, but you have success on YouTube.
If there was some way to figure that out, Sugar, with like a way to bring YouTubers back, like if I could just somehow make it work without it being too shoehorned, it's something that I'm not considering. Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm glad I'm still doing these too. Just it's hard to do them with like a full-time job and stuff like that. And so, yeah. Here, I'm gonna quickly look at other things in the chat here before we get into the interview. I was upset when Angie quit. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Bagsy. Is Jerry a player you would love to see return again? Lemon asks. Oof, that is a dangerous question, Lemon. But I'm not saying no here. Mr. Griddle, when's first boost for Swinner is happening? I don't know. Are there enough first boots for that, Colin?
I think about it, is there enough first boots that are still in the community that's available for that?
Sugar, that's fair. Just know if, and big if, I play again, I'd like to play for more than 2 seconds. Dude, it hurt. I will tell you. Like, I know we've never really, like, spoken postseason, but, like, it hurt us seeing you leave pretty early, because we were just like, what did he do wrong? What did he do wrong in Kootenay? Bagsy and season... Go ahead, Lyoko.
I was going to say, speaking from a fan perspective, watching Kootenay, I was also upset when Sugar left early because he was my early season favorite.
Bagsy, in season 1, everyone was worried about Mason having to leave, and it made me wonder, do you film the episodes in the same day? Yes, Bagsy, that is true. Mr. Griddle, who was your number 1 to come back and couldn't make the cut? You know what? Is that something in your list, Lyoko, so that we're not stepping on each other's toes here?
No, not really.
Okay.
I tried to avoid those questions because I figured since this is live, people be asking that stuff.
So, Colin, for season 9, I will say pretty much everyone that I wanted to show up for season 9 in terms of returnees this season, they are there. That was the list we wanted. We only had basically one backup at that point, and I don't really want to reveal who that is, but just know there wasn't anyone that we cut everyone that we wanted to show up on the returnees made it to the day of, and so we didn't have to like go find the B cut, if you will. And then Chilcool asks, "Are you thinking of a grand finale all returnee season? If so, what will you do with it?" So I will say to that, my mindset nowadays is I work on seasons one season at a time. Um, of course, it's fun to fantasize, even in my own head, like what could I do for seasons past the next season, but I can't promise anything because I don't want my word to be binding and people expecting that the series is going a certain direction. All right, I'm gonna read these last two, I guess, messages. Still waiting for One Boy 3.0. And GG Gamer, was there a pre-merger besides Gonzo that you were considering for a returnee season? No, not really, GG Gamer. All right.
It's all the pre-mergers out there.
So with that, we're gonna go into the interview. So Lyoko, I'll give you the floor here.
First off, hi, thanks for having me on your channel.
Of course, Lyoko. It's great seeing the content that you kind of put out. In my mind, you're kind of like the Dalton Ross of my series because you go out and like interview people and then you give your thoughts. You go in deep sometimes, like you did the top five like best tribal councils in your opinion. And that was a fun read because I asked you if you could send that to me before. Because I'll be honest, guys, it's been a long time since I've looked at any sort of like Minecraft Survivor content other than like season 9 editing. So I was just like, what happened in my series? So I had to refresh myself a little bit and like kind of study up on like the history of Minecraft Survivor to prepare for this interview that we're doing today, Lyoko.
Chris fully went like, what happened in my season?
Yeah, I'm just like, you would think, slaving away, 8 hours of episode, and you would think you would know this like the back of your hand, but no, you forget sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine it. You filmed for like 12 hours of footage, and you had to edit down to like 40 to 1 hour episodes, and you had to try and get so many people's perspectives into this one episode. And probably after a while, it just becomes a blur.
Mm-hmm.
Everything meshes together.
Right. I mean, it is, yeah. As much as I don't want to say that, like, it does kind of become like a little bit of a blur. That's what happens when you don't, I guess, look at this stuff too frequently. So yeah, I see a lot of people here asking questions, and we'll try to get to you guys in a bit. But yeah, Lyoko, you like again, you have the floor. So how do you want to start this interview?
I think starting off, like, we get the big hitter question out of the way. How are you doing?
How am I doing? I would say pretty all right. Generally better than where I was before. I know if you guys didn't remember, I did have a video out where I had to explain, editing was in a bit of a standstill given certain things in my life with my physical well-being, but I can tell you that things are getting better. They are trending better right now, so it is allowing me to edit along me and Kidmodo, the editing team, to kind of get more episodes out in the pipeline so that we can have weekly releases for season 9. But other than that, I've just been life has been pretty good, like pretty stable. I've been, just working, my normal 9 to 5 job in an office, doing network engineering, and then on the weekends, hanging out with friends, going to New York, going to Philly, and just, spending time in the outside world because, like I mentioned it in one of the previous updates, we've been kind of stuck because of COVID, and it's crazy to say that, like, we are 3 years after the start of the pandemic, so being able to do things and not have to wear a mask and just like enjoy life for what it is, especially as a young 20-year-old, it's early 20s, it's nice being able to do that again.
Yeah, I can definitely speak for myself. After the pandemic, I became a lot more social and weirdly going out more when I used to
Mm-hmm.
just stay in my room, watch whatever video I could find, and now I'm like going out, meeting people, taking trips. Like I was just in the States last summer
That
and
is right, you
considering
were.
going out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm staying in Jersey of all places.
I know, which is funny because if you guys don't know, I'm also in New Jersey, so that's my neck of the woods, and then you got to see New York, and yeah, I one of my projects that I did like at my first job out of college was the Moynihan Train Hall project, and that's actually somewhere in like one of my old I think it's in the Richmond 2020 vlog where you see me go through a little bit of my day at work. So, funny enough, actually, last our last meetup, which we're trying to get that. Well, of course I'm trying to edit season 9, guys, but the vlog from last year's meetup, it features two newcomers of the vlogs, which were Sooner and Tim. And Tim actually gets stranded in the middle of New York, and so he had to go to Moynihan Train Hall, which was the project I worked on, and he got to see like the project that I worked on and walk around the building, and he hates it. He honestly hates it because he identifies that building now with being stranded in the United States. But you know what? Hey, at least he got to see some of the stuff I did in my real world.
Yeah, New York is crazy. I definitely went broke after that.
Yeah, no, it's things are not cheap in New York.
No, things are not cheap, period.
All right, so
So,
yeah, what's your next question?
I guess, can you believe that we are waiting for season 9 of your things? Do you think we'd be getting all the way to 9 seasons of this?
You know, do I think we would have gotten to season 9? To be honest, after season 6, I was just like, I could just end it here if I really want to, because like, there's not many people, I guess in the Minecraft game show hemisphere of YouTube, because like I can only maybe, and again, maybe this is because I'm too stuck in my own bubble, but the only person that I can name at the time when Lego came out, who had done an all-star season of a Minecraft YouTube game show, was Andrew Yellow, because he did Big Brother Minecraft season 5, and so I was just like, I thought at the time of doing season 6, wow, this is a really momentous occasion because no one else does all stars for their Minecraft game shows on YouTube. So I thought after season 6, this was gonna be it, and like I was in my last year of college, and I really wanted to, as weird as it is, party more, do things in my like social life in college that I didn't get to really do because I was so busy with just editing Minecraft Survivor in my free time during college. So I like wanted to join a dance team. I joined a modeling photo shoot slash kind of like what are they called, fashion show, and then I also wanted to focus on this is weird to say as a thing to want to focus on. I wanted to focus on going to more raves and concerts because I'm a really big fan of like EDM music, and just as much as like raving gets kind of like this uh, stigma of like, oh, you do like things that are illegal and you shouldn't be doing. I actually like going to those raves because I enjoy the music for what it is, not any of the crazy stuff that like maybe isn't exactly legal in some states. So my point being here, no, I can't really believe sometimes that we are on season 9 because after season 6, it was just a matter of like, okay, season 7. Um, we'll take it one season at a time after season 6. Okay, we're gonna do season 7, casting for season 7, and then the whole debacle of just like the ending of season 7 really put a damper on me where I was just like, do I want to really do another one of these seasons? Because this controversy just made it really like depressing in some ways. But then I wanted to do season 8 because I was just like, no, we can't end on that kind of note. And then so we got season 8. And then I thought, in my opinion, season 8 was really great. I could have ended it right there and just been like, this is the COVID season and we got like to hear really great stories. And in my opinion, I think we got a really good ending, right? We could have just ended it at 8. But you know what? I really wanted to push for 9 just because, I've never done a season in Japan. And I think, people wanted to see some, past and familiar faces get a second chance on a sort of second chance season.
Yeah, I mean, I think every season past 8, not 8, because this is past 8, after 6 was just like, wow, we're getting another one, and it's just another one, and they have been great seasons. I mean, you don't really have a bad season. Yeah, 7 was different, to say the least. And you kind of touched on this question already. I want to do another season.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again? That was kind of hard to hear you.
I said, what made you want to do a ninth season? And we can just get all the season 9 stuff out of the way quickly
Sure,
since it's
sure.
the most recent.
Okay. So why did I want to do a season 9? So yeah, I guess I kind of did touch on that. For one, I guess I wanted to go back to Asia because that's my roots. I'm if you don't know, I am an Asian American guy, so maybe I do have a little bit of bias there of doing things. And Japan's cool, right? So I always wanted to do a season in Japan, and the reason why I wanted to do another season, I mean, I don't know if this is like a cop out, but like honestly, I enjoy the process of pre-production a lot of like creating a new season. Because like even if I want to say no and I don't want to continue on another doing another season, you just have these shower thoughts or these thoughts that you have while you're driving on your way to work and you're like, "Damn, that would be a fun twist to do." Or, "Oh, we should do this theme." And then you're just like, "Well, you can't do those twists and themes if you don't do another season." So then, all these like low key intrusive thoughts just kind of like control your head, and you're just like, maybe another season would be great. Because, like, um, again, I enjoy all parts of the production process. It's just when people ask, why can't you do these seasons faster? Why does it take so long? It's the editing portion. I love, so post production essentially. I love a lot just the pre-production part of it, where we're making twists, we're making themes, we're trying to figure out ways to keep the game fresh, but like not too much to the point where you have like new era Survivor post 40 in the U.S. version.
Uh,
I have opinions on that, but we can maybe touch on that later. And just like just the game design of it all, and like creating the map, and then honestly, I think my favorite part is meeting new people through the casting process and talking to you guys in the interview processes, because the hard reality, right, is not everyone can play the show. But I really like getting to hear the stories from people who watch my series, and get to understand these people who walk different paths of lives versus mine. And to me, it opens up my horizons when it comes to just like, okay, people don't think and live the same way as me. There are other people who might have different opinions or like different lifestyles, and maybe I might not agree with them. And so for me, I like being able to learn and meet new people that way. And I think another, I guess, just reason I love doing another season, why I wanted to do season 9, is I kind of am this type A personality. And you can ask anyone on my production, like, yeah, Chris is kind of a hard ass sometimes, because for me personally, in my career, what I've realized through working the 2 jobs that I've worked, and the just the 9 seasons I've done, I love being the project lead for things. I love managing projects. So I would love to maybe one day, just in my career, be a project manager. And so in a weird way, making another season and leading my own projects and managing my own projects makes me kind of feel like a project manager. I am managing my own project, where I tell people, for the most part, I think my productions are anywhere between 15 to 20 people at this point, where you have to talk to different people in different ways and manage people in different ways, because everyone has a different personality, therefore they have a different work personality when working on the productions of Minecraft Survivor and season 9. And so I was still even learning. I thought I had the process of like a production down by season 9, but I learned pretty like quickly. People have different ways of thinking and have different work personalities than me. And so we had to work through some, differing ideas even through season 9. So it's that concept of me constantly learning and pushing myself to be able to work with more and new different personalities and meeting new people and broadening my horizons. That's why I wanted to do another season 9.
yeah, I really get that. With you mentioned the document I sent you about the 5 travels. I have those thoughts where it's like, oh, this would be cool just like to talk about, or just like I wonder this theory, or like some of the videos that I've made. And it's just great doing the pre-planning, like writing the script, thinking, doing all the research, and then you get to the actual editing portion. I can speak English, I swear.
Mm-hmm.
And
And then you
you're
realize
just
this
like,
takes a long
oh
time,
my
right?
goodness. Yeah, it's like you think a 5 minute video would not take an entire day to make, but it does.
Yes, it does.
And it and then just the relief on hitting that upload button is just like, thank God it's over.
Because like, it was funny because like when I edit now for season 9, I kind of go in little spurts nowadays. So I remember I spent a whole hour. So I did like a 1 hour spurt like editing. I think it was like a tribal council for episode 7 for season 9. So there you go, guys. That's where we're at. We're not done with the season, but we're making our way towards doing the weekly releases. But I remember just spending an hour, and then after the hour was up, I was like, okay, how much did I actually edit in the video? And I only edited basically 3.5 minutes worth of the tribal council because all I did for that hour was just edit the question and answer portion of like tribal council, me asking questions to the castaways and them answering back. So yeah, it takes a lot of work to edit these Minecraft Survivor videos.
Yeah, and editing a tribal council, you ask the questions, and you're just like, okay, can these people just give me better answers? Then we'll see what happens.
you know, you know what? I'll tell you this because like we want to see the behind the scene. We want to hear about the behind the scenes in this interview, right? So there are moments sometimes where when people do not give adequate answers, or at least to my liking, I will push and prod for a better answer. I will ask, "What do you mean by that?" And you the vaguer you get with your answers, once I start poking and prodding with that as a contestant, just know I am going to put your feet by the fire that much closer if you do not give an answer where I can tell you're just trying to clearly cop out. So it's kind of synonymous to how even in the real show in U.S. Survivor, Jeff Probst has been known for kind of being a jerk, according to previous castaways at Tribal Council, where he will curse and scream at someone if they give them a terrible answer. I don't know if I go to that length, but I understand. I understand the struggle when you're a viewer and you're watching someone give this vague, long-winded non-answer, and you're just like, did I really just spend a minute listening to someone give an answer that was not an answer at all?
Yeah, like, yeah, you guys are playing the game, but at the end of the day, it's a TV show. We want the entertainment.
There we go. That is the big philosophy here. Not to say that we should tamper with the game, but I think what some people fail to kind of understand sometimes is, you want to be entertained while you watch these seasons. So that's why we kind of prioritize entertainment, and then yeah, the game comes next.
Yeah, and with this season being fans versus favorites, what made you want to make season 9 fans versus favorites?
So,
And does it have anything to do with a certain video I made a few years ago?
um, can you remind me? Was it the video where you were like, these are the second people I would like to see on a second chance sort of dealio?
Yeah.
Okay, I do remember that. Yes, I do remember that. So I liked it. Okay, I'll say this: when I watched that video, I was like, he's not far off. He's not far off from the people that I do want to see come back. So I actually had a personal like laugh and chuckle because I was just like, okay. Because like for me, I was just like, that means I guess I kind of have a pulse on the community and who the community wants to see back. If this is like who Lyoko wants back, so I was just like, okay, good. Good. It's good to know this is what the community's thinking, and like we're kind of on the same wavelength. Not completely, but like I think at least half or a good chunk of those people that you put on, I also agreed with. And as you can see, those were the people that came back for season 9. So what? So your question, right, was just like, why did you?
Yeah, why fans versus favorites?
Why fans versus favorites? So, I think what you'll notice with my series is especially like post season 6. So I guess this modern era of my Minecraft Survivor, now that we're in season 7 through 9, that era, to me, I consider the eras like 1 through 3 old school, 1 through 3 old school, 4 through 6 is like, I don't know what to call that, just like somewhat like the in between school, I guess, and then 7 through 9 is just to me what seems like the modern era of Minecraft Survivor. So basically, with this modern era, since season 7, I like kind of taking twists from the show, but like kind of tweaking them in a way where we can put my Elite Chris 35 flavor to it. So season 7 was Vindicator's Key. Well, what is it really? It's it's Edge of Extinction had a baby with Redemption Island. So, season 7 came out around when Edge of Extinction came out. So I really wanted to do an Edge of Extinction, but I was like, I watched the show and I was like, the US show, and I was like, I could probably do Edge of Extinction better. So that's when we, tweaked Edge of Extinction around and made Vindicator's Key. Then we have season 8, The Oasis. Well, what is The Oasis really when we compare it to US Survivor? It's just an Exile Island season, just modernized and put in Minecraft. So that was, and then we just put the twist, the theme name, the Oasis, in there. So with season 9, I've always wanted to do something where it was half half newbies and half returnees. Yeah, basically a fans versus favorites. But I was like, I want to do it in my Elite Chris 35 flavor. So what's another popular, I guess, theme that you know people want to see and like have kind of spoken up about in my Minecraft Survivor Discord? Well, people have wanted a second chance this season, so I said, you know what? Let's tweak that a little bit. We'll make it first timers versus second timers. So yes, in essence, we are getting a fans versus favorites season, but I feel like it's also married to the idea of second chances. Because I don't know if I could do a full blown second chances season. Because I only have like about a pool of like 100 people to pull from for Minecraft Survivor. So you know what? Given that we have a catalog of 8 seasons to really look back on, maybe half a tribe of second chancers is appropriate. So yeah, that was the thinking behind why do fans versus favorites for season 9.
Yeah, and we're doing it with a cast of 18 people. Like, I thought 16 was going to be the most that we'll get, but
You know,
said, no, let's go with 18.
you know what? Yeah. So you know what? That was me. That was also me before season 9 started. I was like, I'm never gonna go past 16 because I think the show does 16 to 20 for a Minecraft show. It should stick around 12 to 16. But you know what? It was just a matter of just here are the list of people that I want to see come back. And I was just like, there was one person, and I don't want to put them on blast, but there was one person that I also wanted to see come back. Because I had a list of 8 people, but then there was one more person that I was like, oh, no, the audience wants to see them back as well. So you know what? I said, screw it. Let's add one more second chancer in there and, give another chance to another newbie. So I said, screw it. We'll break the trend. We'll make it from 16 to 18. It gives a chance for a new first timer to play, and hopefully a redemption story for a second timer to play as well. Sooner,
I
can
want
you
conspiracy.
hold on? Sooner, can you? Thank you. All right, it was raining in the game. All right, you were saying?
For the people in the chat, I want conspiracy on which second chances Chris so desperately watched in the cast that he purposely made the season 18 players just to cast them.
Yeah, let's see what you guys think. But yeah, there's definitely someone in there. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said in my video I made 3 years ago before this thing was a thing, I will be taking credit for the season, and I'm actually the new host.
Wow.
No, I don't.
Wow. Now you're gonna take the stress off my plate. Awesome. All right. See you guys later.
Yeah, but in real, no, I don't have the charisma to host an actual season.
Oh no! Don't say that.
Fine, I'll take over. Since you insist. Now, we are on season 9, or season 9, but we have to start somewhere. Let's go all the way back 5 years in the past and talk about what came, why, I swear I'm good at this. What came, how did you come up with, you know what, let's make a Minecraft Survivor series. Why not? How did that pop into your head 5 years ago?
So you would think that this, started 5 years ago, well, now 6, which is crazy because 2018 was when we recorded season 1, or at least the official season 1. But the real true story is we had like 3 or 4 attempts at a season 1. That's why you see unlisted on my channel. And like as funny as it is to meme on it, part of me doesn't want to delete that because that is the true start of it. So, um, I guess where it really started was I was a total drama fan before I was a Survivor fan, and
That's also getting a new season.
yeah, which is amazing. And like, I'm a little upset that the Italians are going to get it on April 10th, and that means we're going to have spoilers everywhere before we get the English dub. But that's a whole nother conversation. So the just I was probably 15 or 16 at the time. Keep in mind I'm 24. So I guess Minecraft Survivor for me has been like an 8-year project technically. Insane. So I was a total drama fan, and I was just like, I want to kind of do total drama, but like make it Survivor in Minecraft. And then I watched Survivor Gabon, and I was like, yeah, I could do this. I think I could do this, but like put my own spin to it. So the original season one, there was no vote. There was going to be a final challenge because that's how much of an influence total drama had on me. But then
Um,
yeah, no, let's be glad that I didn't go that direction. Or like another
like,
direction I thought was like we could have the final challenge be a percentage of the jury votes, but you know, right? It's weird, right? But like that's legitimately what I was thinking back when I was starting season one. So, um, why did I do season one? Like it's funny because like I remember specifically sitting on vacation one day. We were in like North Carolina or South Carolina. I think it was South Carolina, me and my family, and we were outside the Biltmore Estates. It was just like this tour of like a rich person's mansion, and I remember sitting back in the backyard in the garden, like not paying attention to the tour, but just being like, "Damn, I was constantly at this point thinking about like Minecraft Survivor. I could do like a season one, two, three, four, and then like once we get to six or five, we could do an all star season." So I was having those thoughts all the way back in like when I was 16. So basically like 2014, right? And then we tried to do unlisted, and at this point I'm 16 years old. You hear in the unlisted videos, wow, Chris sounds like a squeaker. Cause like, damn, my balls dropped. My balls dropped between all unlisted and the actual season one. And you'll still even notice between season one up till my current seasons, I guess my balls kept dropping because my voice just gets deeper and deeper. So, at 16, it was kind of a mess because like for one, we were on Skype, and
oh yeah, that is.
everyone, I was kind of a handful. Like at 16, I did not have the charisma that I had, or the, I guess, leadership capabilities of like commanding a show and being like, guys, stop fooling around right now. This is how we're gonna go. We need to keep the show and the game moving. Stop messing around. No, I let the cast kind of like devour me in unlisted, and it got to a point where I was so disorganized I didn't even realize I started the game with 11 people. It Even though we were supposed to have 12 people. So I was making missteps like that where I was just like, well, okay, I guess we're going to have to think on the fly. Episode 2, I guess we're going to do a mutiny. So we had a mutiny just to even out the tribes 5 to 5 at that point, which is it's so weird. And yeah, so Unlisted was just the cast devoured me. I did not have the leadership capabilities that I had. I think that was back in 2016. Then I tried to do a season 1 again, and the cast kind of devoured me again because they did not respect me. And I said, "You know what? No, this I am not happy with this product." So you know what? It took one final shot, and that's when we got to 2018, where you now have the current Sherwood. We have the current Minecraft Survivor Season 1 Sherwood, where Miller is the first boot, right? That's the final version that we went with because um, everyone, I was able to command the respect of my cast, albeit yes, a lot of them, they did know me outside the game, so that did make it easier for me to facilitate the game and have it moving and have them reciprocate the respect that I need as a host to keep the game moving. And yeah, just I guess I got caught up. What was the exact question that I'm trying to like pinpoint back to now?
Oh, it was just pretty much like what made you come up with season one, and you pretty much covered it.
I
Saying
think I
like,
did cover it. Yeah, I was a
well,
total drama fan and a Survivor fan. I said let's do it in Minecraft, and it took a couple attempts over the course of like 2 years, but here we are. We have Minecraft Survivor Sherwood. Bam, there we go.
Yeah, and as much as me personally, I do kind of dog on season one for being like the tester season because quality and stuff.
Sure.
When you watch that Miller go off and just him slowly, just not even slowly, plummeting into insanity just to get to his bow off was absolutely hilarious. The whole like Chris is working the season, he didn't even find an idol when Angie just finds
Mm-hmm.
an idol
Mm-hmm.
like that in front of Miller and him not seeing it.
And I'm glad that you can take, those moments, because like that's what Survivor really is about, is like the character moments and just like the wackiness of certain, just absurdities. And so as much as we didn't use Discord for Sherwood, because that would have been great to see people break out into like different calls, it's great that, people still can find like the funny little moments from Sherwood and appreciate Sherwood for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, when I do my occasional rewatches of all the season, I still go back and watch Sherwood.
I appreciate that. We and my philosophy is we all start somewhere. I thought that what I was editing back at the time of season one was the best I could have ever edited, like, a YouTube video, and then flash forward now to season eight, season nine. Like I kick season one Chris's ass when it comes to editing in the recent seasons.
I would even say the very next season, to me, production improved so much, and just like the quality improving between Sherwood and Rowena. Did anything really change between those two seasons to have such a boost in production and quality?
So I think, for one, the fact that we were on Discord and whatchamacallit, we're able to break it out into different voice calls, that brought the game up to another level that just didn't happen in Sherwood because everyone was just on the same Skype call. By the way, I told everyone in Sherwood, if you want to like start separate voice group chats, do it. Just make sure you add me in it. No one ever did it. So it was just purely DMs and just like kind of like what everyone was generally thinking towards a simple vote. Um, which, to be honest, like I think about it now, and it's just like it's amazing that Kyle was able to like, you know, be entertaining enough to like work with that. But to your question for season two, what happened? I think what happened was, so when everyone starts a Minecraft Survivor series, because like there are a ton, and it's great that people do their own Minecraft Survivor series, because like, you know, if you have an idea and you set your mind out to it, go for it. Don't let someone stop you. But in season one, since everybody, there were other people, other YouTubers that were doing Minecraft Survivors, I didn't garner the respect of people to from the community for them to take my show seriously. I'm essentially just another person trying to enter the game of Minecraft Survivors on YouTube. So I was just another, like, in a weird way, I guess you could say I was kind of like a nobody. And so I was just trying to like find my footing because like I did not have many cameramen. I only had like me and Michaela. That was it for season one. Then people saw after season one, yes, it does seem like a tester season when you watch it back, but they realized this Elite Chris guy does things differently. Sure, it's not like, it's not like Tagada Teola or like the other big Minecraft Survivor seasons out there, but you can tell that like he tries to make it story driven, character based, and like, he does the title cards where it's like day one, day one, Poppy Camp, or day two, Allium Tribe, and it's just like people took notice. I think that I'm trying to make it close to the real Survivor, but in Minecraft with these certain like storytelling devices. So I think people started being like, oh, okay, Chris is gonna try to make this a big series. I want to be there for the ride. Slash, I kind of respect what he's doing. So that's when we were able to get more people helping out with cameramening in season two, and just like being involved in production. So I think because there were more production people on production, it meant that like I was able to bounce off more ideas. Because I feel like season one for me, honestly, completely everything in season one for the most part was 80-90% my ideas. With season two, I think more people joined the production, which meant I was able to bounce more ideas off from other people and, integrate it and really try to make this thing a community product. And yeah, I think that's why you see a little bit of a production jump between seasons one and two, because I'm getting more help, and I'm also realizing, some of the mistakes that I do in season one, and say maybe we could smoothen that out, and maybe get better shots in season two. So yeah.
Yeah, I know for myself when I first discovered your series, I think Kutane was like in the middle of airing, but I can never watch a season. I have to watch it from the very beginning. So
Mm-hmm.
I watched your show and I was like, okay, fun, little rough, but it's season one, it's not gonna be perfect. And
Mm-hmm.
then I watched season two and I was like, okay, this is actually really good. I'm still remembering. I think it also helps that Jerry was like my early favorite and he ended up
Mm-hmm.
winning. Jerry, if you're out there. And then I just kept watching, and then like, okay, now I'm hooked.
Nice. Well, I'm glad to hear that, that was enough for you to be like, I'm going to keep watching because season 1 again, kind of like this is what I'm given. You're like when you in real TV, I think when you have a pilot season, you don't get a lot in your budget, right? But if it's a really successful first season, you get more into your budget for the next season. So I think that's kind of like, the same metaphor we can bring here is just like season 1. I'm working with what I'm given. Skype, 12 people that like kind of know me outside the game, but they'll listen to me, and that's about it. Oh, and then two cameramen. That's it. Season 2, we have like 4 or 5 cameramen. We have 14 cast members from more different walks of life, and they're not just people that I know outside of the game, and basically had to beg, "Can you please play in my Minecraft Survivor?" Um, and just more ideas going into it. We just had more materials and more resources going into season 2 that I could show people once and for all. You really want to see how good this product can be. This is what I can do with the season 2, and you can best believe I'm going to try to make it better for season 3, and so on and so on. Because that's another reason why it takes so long to get these seasons out. Um, in the modern, like, seasons 8 and 9, just like I'm always trying to kind of beat myself from the way from the bar I set previously, because I guess in a weird way, kind of, I'm always chasing to be the best version of myself.
Yeah, no, that's very understandable. I watch a lot of like fan survivors, like whether it be Minecraft versions or college survivors, and every time I hear these editors, they're always like, "I'm always trying to do better than my previous season." So,
Mm-hmm.
and it does take time because if I don't know if people know this, you're one person. You're not an entire TV production company
Exactly.
working a season every 3 months.
Exactly.
Like you have a lot. You have lives. You have people. You have things that actually give you money and income. Because I don't know if people know this, you don't get paid for this.
Nope.
So it's very understandable, and the fact that we're getting a season 9 and we're managing to get weekly uploads, it's like very impressive. And well done to you and the editing team,
Thank
production
you.
team out there.
Thank you. Shout out to Kidmoto Shipley, because I think
Yeah,
I had to go out to him first before I even greenlit season 9 and got into production. I told Shipley, look, the only way I'm going to do a season 9 is if I have help editing. I know you raised your hand for this multiple times through the knob, but I told you can't be editing. I can't have you help edit it because, you know, you might put some biased takes about your own game in a season that you're on. So that's when I went to him and said, "Are you sure you're going to be okay with doing season 9, knowing that there might be returnees, and like that's you're going to be editing returnees versus newbies?" And he said, "Yeah." And once I realized, this is the editing team, that's how 9 came to be.
yeah. Congratulations. Shout out to Kitty out there. Hello. He's just editing season 9 and either heavily under editing or over editing like Gonzo and Chris Blue, his fellow Nile
Oh
people.
no, he knows that I'm out watching like a hawk, cuz like when I say you can ask my production, Chris is kind of a hard ass sometimes, or like he's super type A. Um sure, we may be friends outside of production, but that does not mean I'm gonna hold back when I need to give criticism for something, because my goal at the end of the day is to chase and put out a really good product, and sometimes that might mean I might have to point out something that like could be done better. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, when you're working like this, you're not friends, you're coworkers. We can be friends outside of work, but when we're in work, it's completely different. I
And
think everybody has that
well, and
friendship or worker relationship with people.
right, and don't get me wrong, it's not like we are this corporate like company that like, oh, we're always so serious all the time or whatever. It's just because like we can still make jokes with each other. Honestly, I guess some of my like favorite moments is just like, and why I keep doing these seasons also is because these are more opportunities for me to just like be around with friends, and it gives us a reason to be around each other. So we can still joke and say stupid things like while we're doing a season, but if I think we need to course correct and something needs to be criticized, then yeah, I will say it. I mean, sure, I could be a bit better with how I say criticism sometimes, but my role as a project manager for the most part and the showrunner is to course correct so that we're going to the right vision and finishing whatever mission we're doing.
Yeah. So he might be rough on you, but at the end of the day, you'll still go out for drinks or whatever online people do together.
I still love you, production. Okay.
Production and go on strike. So you quickly mentioned season 3. I want to ask, what made you want to have a season that had returning players just after 2 seasons?
Okay, this is gonna sound really dumb. To be honest, I think one of the big reasons why I guess I wanted to do Minecraft Survivor is because I always wanted to edit a lower thirds into a confessional. And what I mean by lower thirds, everyone, is the bottom of like a person's confessional where they have like their name, their occupation to the right, and then underneath it it says like Poppy Tribe or Allium Tribe. For me, for some reason, that just really sticks out to me. I don't know if it's like OCD, I don't know what it is, but I've always been like, I want to do something like that. And so, something that always, I guess, stood out to me while watching The Real Survivor, like in returning seasons like Caramoan or Blood versus Water, is instead when you have returning players, they don't have their occupation written next to their name to the right. It says their original season that they played in. So I said I want to reach a point in my Minecraft Survivor series where I can put in someone's confessional over thirds their original season, so Sherwood or Rorema. And so that's what I was able to do with Ivory Coast. So that was the main reason. But like a more, I think, reasonable reason is season 1 and 2 didn't really have as high of stakes at that point because people were just like, "Oh, Chris, you're just another YouTuber trying to get a Minecraft Survivor series out." So I wanted to bring 3 people from season 1 and then 2 people from season 2 back onto Ivory Coast for another shot because by the time season 3 came around, that's when I saw the ball was rolling with my YouTube channel, and you could see that there were people subscribing. More people were subscribing at a higher rate, and that meant more people were caring about this. So in a weird way, there were more stakes. So yeah, I wanted to give people like Dizzy or Miller another shot who like, they really can play the game. And now that people are, now really watching the series, yeah, here's another shot in Ivory Coast.
Yeah, and it also started a trend of every third season of yours has to feature returning
I know.
players.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that going into season 9, but I was just like, you know what? If that's going to be a thing, let it be a thing.
So look at people, if we get a season 12, get your conspiracies running with his
I,
returning.
I am not saying a word.
But, like I said, get the conspiracies, we don't know what's actually happening.
Hmm.
So we talked a lot about you being production, like behind the scenes. Let's talk about what's like actually hosting and just like being with these people, like doing challenge commentary, asking questions of tribal,
Hmm.
reading the votes, etc., etc. What's that like? Like over the years, how did that evolve?
So I will definitely say in season 9, because if you ask anybody, I feel like seasons 1 through 8, Chris is such a hard ass during the day of because he's always trying to move the game forward and just like, oh my god, he says like 1 more minute to talk strategy and then he like pulls you out of like voice calls and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, that's how it usually is. That's kind of like my mentality is just keep the game moving. But in season 9, I took a different approach where I was just like, what if I'm just joking and bantering back and forth with the cast? So honestly, I was probably the least like angry and probably the most happy throughout a season while hosting season 9 because I took a different approach where I said, let's just, have everyone have a good time. But let's see, just what is my approach, I guess, to challenge like what call it challenge commentary and just tribal council questions. With challenge commentary, and you'll notice this in the real U.S. Survivor as well. You're not going to get the right, commentary and like play-by-play sound bites on the first go. So sometimes, we will add while I'm editing the episode. Oh, this would be a good place for me to put a sound bite here. I will try to, bring that same cadence and just give that commentary in the post production process. But the what is my mentality is just like kind of channel in my inner Jeff Probst, as like corny as that sounds, because like sure, Jeff Probst gets a lot of things wrong when it comes to themes and twists and advantages sometimes, and just taking the current meta and new era of the show from the identity of like the original and past seasons. And but he does know how to put in the passion. What I can respect him for is he knows how to put in the passion when he does his play by plays in challenge commentaries and really digging into tribal council questions. So that's all I really do is I just ask myself, what would Jeff do? And so, you know, I try to kind of bring a high energy when I do challenge commentaries, and I have no problem nowadays being a bit of a diva and being sassy and being like, "Did you guys even prepare to come on Minecraft?" Like I think you might remember in the Nile, I say like, "You guys keep falling off this like parkour. Did you guys even prepare to be on Minecraft Survivor? You guys are pathetic." Like, and I've been on the receiving end playing in other people's game shows where they're basically taking the piss on me when they're saying, "Chris, you're sucking right now," and it motivates. I truly believe it motivates people to like try to like prove me wrong and be like, "Chris, you're being a dick right now." Like, oh, I'm gonna prove it to you that I can win a challenge. And so me like pegging and like being a diva at these challenge commentaries sometimes. You'll sometimes see, will a person sink or swim? Will they take that opportunity of me egging them on and say, I can beat this challenge. Screw you, Chris. I got this in the bag. Or are you going to buckle under the pressure and say, damn, Chris, you are making me feel bad right now. And, it's going to mess with your mental and you might not perform as well in the challenge. So, and I do think that like challenges are about, can you perform under the pressure? And sometimes I'm going to be part of that created pressure when I'm putting a magnifying glass over you and I'm saying, wow, you're messing up the parkour there. Must suck to be you. Hope you don't get voted out later. So that's the challenge side of things. Go ahead.
I need to help if Moto made it to Final Five.
And then when it comes to tribal council questions, yeah, I just try to get the general vibe because like I'm not like the real show, right, where they have like tons of people taking notes and they know what the narratives that they're going to go for are going to be going into tribal council. For me, it's simply I am on the fly that day. My brain is working nonstop the entire 14 to 17 hour recording. I don't know however long it is that season. And I tell myself, try to figure out the common threads and narratives you think you could edit into the show right now and try to bring those in your tribal council questioning, but do it in a way that doesn't directly out someone's game. So sometimes I will ask questions that like sometimes don't make sense or really don't have a place in being asked because I don't want to like ruin someone's spot in the game as well. But so it's like a fine line that you have to walk where you want to ask interesting questions that like provoke certain conversations at tribal council, or maybe it might provoke a live tribal fight. Maybe we might get some of those in season 9, or and the fine line of just we don't want to blow up someone's spot by asking a very outing question.
You don't want to be asking this person. So, if let's say you had an idol, would you play it for this person? that is rumored to be getting votes.
Right. So like there's certain things that are just like too much detail will give off red flags for the other players.
Yeah. You mentioned live tribals. You get to see those live tribals raw and in person, right in front of you. What would you say was like the biggest one you've witnessed?
Okay.
Um, if one happens in season 9, one that the audience knows of.
Oh, you want both?
Yeah, sure. If one at all happens in season 9, we don't know what will happen.
Okay. So again, I haven't edited all of season 9, but I do remember in season 9 because like it doesn't exactly happen at the tribal, but well, it's instigated at tribal, and then it has effects later on in the game that affects like how certain people are going to want to work with each other. And so I guess if I could tease something from season 9 tribal related, someone may or may not have, crossed the line when it comes to bringing certain things that are like, from the real
Uh,
world into the game. And it's just like, for some people they'd be like, it's not really crossing a line. Maybe, and then for other people it's, no, you really shouldn't be saying that sort of thing, and like really bringing in real life like parts like that. And so someone on the cast, a couple people actually on the cast kind of take offense to it, and then they say,
uh,
you know what, um, that's not okay. That's not what I stand for. So, best of to you to the game, but please, I do not want to associate with you. So that's something I can tease. Now, luckily for me, I was able to read up on a couple tribals from like, from the previous seasons. I think my favorite, just like live crazy tribal, um, would probably be, hmm. All right, this is where I'm gonna pull up the wiki because
like
I
to
knew
see
this
the
was gonna
vote,
happen. I
like
knew this
they
was
have
gonna
this
happen.
tribal.
Craziest tribal. Am I gonna really say Legao? I don't know if I'm gonna say Legao.
I mean, if it is the craziest, it might be like the obvious answer,
All
but
right,
it's
I'll give you. You know,
obvious.
what? I'll give you two answers. My favorite, I guess, like live tribal. Number one would be Legao, where Sting gets rocked out because, um, and like part of me wishes I left more of the extended cut in the final episode, but like you have to cut things down when you're going to rocks, because like rocks, you have to do an initial vote, then a revote, then a consensus decision, and then the actual lottery of pulling the rocks. That's a lot of things that you have to include in like a 5-minute package. So there were parts of that fight that never made it to the final episode, which is why I released an extended cut. Just witnessing like people play so hard and be like, Caleb, I don't like the bullshit you're doing here, from Ozzy, and then Caleb's just like, well, I got pulled into alliance. What do you expect me to do? And it's just people are playing hard at this point, and the person that people least expected to see go home goes home. That's beautiful right there. And then my other non-legal favorite live tribal is probably when Foration goes home in How Long, because Bayback,
Oh
I think
yeah.
everyone remembers kind of, and I think I actually use the clip from season 4 in the season 9 flashback in the first 3 minutes of season 9, where Bayback is calling out Hope, and then I play in the editing. I put the corniest like uh, Hell's Kitchen like creaking door sound effect of just like, I don't want to mimic it, but it kind of goes like where it's just like, did Chris really just put a Hell's Kitchen sound effect? Because after the Hell's Kitchen sound effect, everyone's yelling at each other at that trial, being like, Hope, why are you throwing my name out? And then you have Xing just being like, well, we should stick together as an alliance. And you're just like, what the fuck is Xing saying? And then you're just like, everyone's like trying to make a move, and it's just this messy vote. And, Hope very well could have gone home if Bayback, I guess, just articulated better what he wanted at that live tribal, but we end up getting like a safe vote with Foration going. So I think that's also a fun tribal to reminisce on, because yeah, and you'll see it in the season 9 like flashback, in the first couple minutes where Bayback says, I almost nearly took out the winner of the season in Hope. And then it flashes back to that season 4 tribal council, and then it goes back to Bayback saying, I'm coming in here for my second chance.
Yeah, talking about Desperation Tribal, I like to describe it as the expected person going home in an unexpected way.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though he was the obvious boo, I mean, a 3-2-1 vote and that tribal madness, you wouldn't anyone could have gone home at that point.
For sure.
And I mean, any tribal that involves rocks is going to be a big tribal.
For sure.
The result of it being the one person refusing to flip is the one who does end up getting rocked out.
And it's insane. And that's why, if we could have every tribal like that, and I get why Jeff Probst is like that, if every tribal could be like that would be amazing, because no one wants to see all right, we know who the vote's going to be. We want it to be unpredictable. So I love those live tribals because it does keep things unpredictable.
Yeah. Speaking personally, get rid of the unanimous votes. They're horrible. But they're expected because, people want to play games. Would you say there was ever a time where you were reading the votes and you yourself were blindsided on who actually went home?
No. Well, are you saying when I'm reading them out to the cast or when I'm counting them up?
When you're counting them up, when you first see how the votes are divided, are you like, oh my god, this person actually leaves?
Okay, let me.
Is actually going home.
Sure. So let me pull up the wiki. I think I have a safe answer. I do have a safe answer.
Because I'm just imagining you reading the votes out to the cast and you see the final vote and you're just pausing there for a good 30 seconds trying to be like, oh wow, this person's actually going home, and then you read it.
Mm-hmm. Whew. Okay, I think it might be Caribbean here. Wow, shocker, guys, not legal. So I would say when I was shocked by a vote count while counting the votes up would probably be when Timmy goes home in the Caribbean during the double elimination night. Because I'm just Garrett messes up by just throwing a vote. Because the vote total is a 4 to 3 to 1. 4 on Tim, 3 on Cosby, 1 on Corkhager. And that 1 on Corkhager is from Garrett. And, Garrett tries to play it off I actually meant to vote Cosby. But, yeah, just to see Tim go home because of someone else's, mess up at the voting booth, it was a bit shocking because Tim was the voice of reason, if you will, in the Caribbean. Because I will say back when I was hosting Caribbean, it really did feel like the Garrett show, and a lot of it because Garrett was very vocal and outspoken. So I thought, okay, yeah, Garrett is running everything. But then the more I thought about it and went through the editing, no, Tim is doing things more subtly and things that are, only his parental age could bring into the show. And so to see him go home to a 4 to 3 to 1 was personally shocking to me, especially at the expense of Garrett throwing a vote on Corkhager.
Yeah, I know watching that, I was definitely not happy being a Tim fan, and I was like, no!
Mm-hmm.
So, I'd like to do this quick section I like to call Overrated or Underrated, where I'm going to give you survivor moments, whether it be from your series or the real show, and you give me your opinion on whether you think they're overrated and underrated, and maybe a little reason why.
Sure.
But we'll start off simple. Sandra winning twice.
Overrated. Do you want a reason or just the word?
You can give a reason.
Sure. Not exactly a Sandra fan, guys, because sure, I know the social game's important, but I'm more of a strategic. I mean, yes, she's strategic, but I just found Parvati in Heroes versus Villains way more domineering than Sandra. But Sandra did it right. That's why when Tony won twice, I think I was able to swallow that better, just because Tony is a more entertaining character, in my opinion.
Right, you heard it here first. Chris hates women.
Chris, you cast more women. Yeah, I know, guys. Trust me.
Maybe if there was more women on the server.
Thank you. Someone had to say it.
Right. All-Rank's not playing his idol in Marema.
No, that's not overrated. I'd say, yeah, if I had to say, underrated, just because that's the moment that I hype up in the season 2 preview where I said this is the first. I think I say like this is the first time this has ever happened in this game. Oh no, it wasn't that. No, I mean, I just yeah, him not playing his idol it just makes him look like Boo Boo the Fool. So yeah, I think it's hilarious, underrated.
Yeah, that still goes down in history as like one of my favorite roll-offs ever. The fact that it took two people to get out somebody with an idol.
Yeah.
Okay. Chief idling out Echo at the first tribal of Liao.
You can't say that's overrated. That's the first idol play. It's underrated. It is the first idol play ever to be successful in my series, and I'm not counting Oxy's super idol. I don't know, because like in my opinion, how do you misplay a super idol if it removes a majority of the votes after the votes? You can't. So I consider Echo's vote off the first like successful pure idol play, we'll say, right? Just to be, I guess, politically correct with that. So underrated just because Echo is, he was one of the biggest characters going into that season, and he gets the Suri music not for no reason.
Yeah. I know Echo doesn't remember this because he blocked it from his head, but
Oh, yeah.
It was definitely, especially from a three-time player.
Mm-hmm, of course.
And I mean, Karma came in the end because Chief would vote off right after Echo, so.
Mm-hmm. Which is why everyone's just like, why? Why do that? Why play the idol on the first tribal?
Yeah. The final four fire making twist.
Overrated. I hate it. I personally hate it. Forced fire making. I feel like the point of Survivor is voting people off. Why are we not voting people off at the final four? That's my take on the game. Sorry guys if that's like stepping on any of your toes with modern era Survivor, but like, yeah, I mean, if you know me, just there's a reason why it has not reared its head in my Minecraft Survivors.
I was about to say when you were talking about your season 0 doing a final four challenge, you thought of fire making twist before the show even thought of it.
What do you mean by that?
When you're talking about your unreleased seasons, you said, "Oh, why don't we do Final Four like a challenge, like on Total Drama?"
Oh, like on Total Drama.
And I was like, you thought of fire making twist before even the show did it. Like getting rid of the vote.
It's a little different just because season 1, I was just like, let's give a percentage of the jury votes be determined by who wins a final challenge, right? But again, that was before I was in my Survivor era. That was in my Total Drama era.
Right. Aubrey versus Michelle and Ko-Rong.
Oh, that's so is the question just like is the feud overrated or underrated?
Yeah, the fact that it's still being argued to this day.
I think it's overrated. Like, y'all have to get over it. It's been a while, and like Michelle came back and proved herself in her spot as a legitimate winner. I might be biased there because Michelle literally, she's from Freehold, New Jersey. That's literally a 15-minute drive from me, and whenever I go to get Buffalo Wild Wings, I actually pass the restaurant she used to bartend at when she did bartend during Ko-Rong. So yeah, maybe there's some geographical biases right there, but lay off my girl Michelle. But Aubrey's also I'm also a fan of Aubrey. I'll put that there too.
Yeah, you can like both people, but please get over it. It's been how many years at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Fake idols.
Fake idols, I would say, in my season or in the show.
In general.
In general, well, given what we've seen with 44, I think it's getting overdone and I think it's overplayed. The most fun I've had with watching a fake idol on the show was seeing Josh Wilder's fake idol from the last episode of Survivor 44 literally disintegrate into his hands when Yam Yam says, or Jam Jam says, "Are those the beads from Tree Mail?" Because like, I'm so glad people realize, like, yeah, these idols just look jank as hell. Like, please question their validity more.
Don't just immediately believe it just because it comes with a parchment and has colorful beads on it.
Right. Overrated. Me.
Survivor Caribbean.
Survivor Caribbean, I do. Okay, I think it's underrated because, yes, it does have, like, the looming dark cloud over its head. And, that's actually what one of Tim's first confessionals coming into season 9 is about. Is just like, I'm still the only one defending and saying that I'm proud I'm playing on Minecraft Survivor Caribbean. And so, in a way, Tim, I wish I could say Corkhager, but like Corkhager does his own thing, right? But Tim really wants to uh, put justice to the Minecraft Survivor Caribbean name in Minecraft Survivor Season 9 Hokkaido. So, I do think it's underrated because, sure, there's the Dark Looming Cloud at the end of it, but, I mean, you have a good 95% of the episodes of just jam-packed modern Minecraft Survivor gameplay. Do not forget that. Because, like, I actually went back and watched the first episode of Season 7 last night, and I was just like, yo, there are some great characters here, and people are playing the game. This is all you could ask for in a Minecraft Survivor season. So, yeah, underrated.
I mean, when you have somebody trying to make a cult the very first 10 seconds, I mean, what can you do?
Exactly.
And now who's coming back again? Maybe third time's the charm.
Yeah, that's right, because it took him 2 shots in Caribbean.
Going to Rock.
I think it's underrated. We don't see it happen a whole lot in the real show, and it's only happened once on my series, so I think more rock draws would be cool, but because it really does paint this, like, dilemma for the players. Like, look, if you really don't want to break this tie, it's you that's putting your game at risk. Do you really want to sacrifice your game potentially for these 2 other randos that are stuck in a tie? Do you really want to do that? So I like that question that is posed during a looming rock draw.
Yeah, I think for myself, I would personally go to Rocks because, in my opinion, I view it as another way to get somebody else out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm never going to Survivor game, so I'm always like, I'm not going to win regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well go out in a legendary moment.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're competing for, like, glory and $1 million, maybe people have different views.
Right.
Throwing challenges.
Throwing challenges. I as a production person, I don't like it because you want people to, like, give their 100% in challenges. But if I remove myself from that, I would say underrated because it doesn't happen too often, and it is a legitimate strategy. Because, like, I mean, yeah, I would be a hypocrite to say it would be overrated because, like, I actually, when I was playing in Creed's The Island, I wanted to throw a challenge to vote someone out after I got, like, outed for trying to take them out, and then they play an idol, and then the next round I'm like, maybe I should throw this challenge to, like, remove this now very obvious threat to my game because she yells at me the camp time right after because I tried backstabbing her. So no, I don't think it's overrated. Throwing challenges is underrated.
And the final one is the 3-person tribal at the Nile with Gonzo, Salted, and G.
Underrated. I mean, they were bearing their souls, their heart and souls into that because, like, that was probably the most emotional tribal I've ever had got to witness. And so to hear why people were coming on, and then just to hear that, like, this really meant a lot to them, and especially during COVID. I think COVID heightened everyone's want and spirit and drive to, do something so that they could have something to look forward to in this, like, crappy quarantined world that we're in. I think it's underrated, and it really humanizes them to the viewer, and it lets the viewers know, we're just like you. We also want to play really hard for this game. And, some people, you at the viewer at home, might not be able to be cast on this show because, maybe you got cut at a certain point in casting, but we're doing this for you, basically.
Yeah, I know for myself watching that, it was definitely like reminding me, like, okay, these are not characters in a show; these are real people,
Mm-hmm.
and that is something I struggle with. Just like I need to remember these are real people, so I know I'm constantly complaining about them, but like, there's just people playing a game regardless,
Mm-hmm.
and it just kind of shows like it's a silly little block game that brings a whole bunch of people together, and we do care about it. So
Of course. I mean, it's funny because like that's the thing that I say in Andrew Yallo's Minecraft Survivor Big Brother 6, where I'm just like, it's just a Minecraft game show. It's a Minecraft game show. But, I'd be remiss if I said I didn't care and just thought it was a Minecraft game show. Stop making a big deal out of it. My success on YouTube is because you guys care so much. The players, viewers, production, and myself care so much of putting out a product that is banger.
yeah, and we're if you didn't continue, we wouldn't be where we are right now.
Right.
Uh, to wrap this up, I'm going to give you some quick fire questions that they do on the show where I'll give you a question or like a category, and you have to say the first person that comes to your head or you think fits this category within your series. So this is going to be all Minecraft Survivor people.
Sure thing.
Yeah. And if you people get offended that you are not picked, please write in the comments below. Right. Best winner.
Oh shoot. Oh wow. Landslide.
Most annoying season to edit.
Caribbean.
Most impressive move that you witnessed.
Oh shoot. Let me pull up the Wikipedia. Most impressive, huh? Oh, here. This I don't know if this is gonna piss people off for saying it, but uh Sinwar blindsiding Kyle in Minecraft Survivor Legal, while blocking Brady's vote to force it to be a 4-3 rather than a 4-4 tie to ensure Kyle goes home.
Oh yeah, that was a good move. Biggest flop moment.
Biggest flop moment, like someone flopping.
Yeah, just like someone just doing absolutely bad, whether it be they did something that ruined their game,
Oh, that's
a
so
pitch
mean.
performance in the
Oh no, that's
challenge.
that's so mean. Um, I I
Oh,
guess
now
this,
you're
okay.
gonna be
I'll
nice?
say it. I'll say it, but like nothing. It's nothing personal, but I would just say maybe Asher in Caribbean when he failed his first Vindicator's key task. Yes, albeit Corkhager did break his crafting table, but he wasn't going to complete it regardless anyway. And because he let the paranoia kind of get to his head to get him voted out, and then he couldn't complete his first Vindicator's key task. But all love Asher.
Like I'm saying, this is them as players, not them as people. If you want them as people, then I don't know. Where am I? Oh, best player to have never won.
Best player to never have won. Oh, who's like the Sari? Who's the Sari of my show? I'll say Sinwar.
Ah, I was kind of expecting a jackal there.
Yeah, he played a really good social game in Legal, but you know what? Sinwar played twice, and like he always just knew how to find idols and advantages, and so I think that's a very important skill to have. And the fact that I think I don't know if I'm saying this right, but I think he had the first successful advantage play by blocking Brady's vote, so that it would be a 4-3 in Legal. To me, that just like solidified in my mind he knows how to play these advantages right as well.
I think you're right. I think that was the first successful advantage play because the double vote last season didn't help, and the idle play earlier this season we found out was not an advantage.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Most impressive blindside.
Damn it! I can't just keep saying the same thing because, like, I'm not gonna. I would have. All right, I would have said Sinwar blindsiding Kyle, in Legal, but I'm gonna choose a different. I'm gonna choose a different one for you. Blindside. Oh, you know what? Let's go with something recent. So I would say Gum being blindsided with the Oasis Parchment double vote and an idol in his pocket in the Nile, where everyone just played the role and were just like, yeah, we're just gonna keep picking off the the new Hikma people, the new Hikma players, and and then they like kind of gaslit Gum into thinking, they really had the new Hikma players really had no shot at surviving, so it made Gum kind of feel like it made Gum ask the question in his head, "Am I the asshole Reddit?" And so he didn't play his idol, and Gum goes home with like so many goodies in his bag.
Yeah, really idolizing Happy there from season 4, going home. I think in this, I want to say the same placement with the same two advantages.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Say,
Maybe he
say
was
it again.
second. Oh, it's like it's kind of Gum going home that way. It was kind of like uh, what's the word I was going to say? It's kind of like representing Happy and Halong, how he went home in Legal, not Legal, Halong with a double vote and a idol.
Mm-hmm.
In I think it was either eighth place or seventh place. I think it was seventh place. Now that I think about it.
Happy. I believe it's seventh.
Yeah, so
I have
one
the
place.
wiki. Hold up. How long says Happy got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, I think
He's seventh.
yeah, seven. So
All right.
almost there, but it only lasted one more tribal. Right. Favorite season aesthetic slash like theme.
Aesthetic. Oh, Caribbean easily. We love a good tropical area.
Well, not the Philippine one. Okay.
I would no. Okay, look. I would say Philippines, but there's a lot of grass and sand there. I'm just saying if we redid Legao or like redid a Philippine location, I would want it to look more like the Caribbean.
I mean, you can't beat like a beach theme season with
Hmm.
like Empire,
I'll tell you
all
this
that.
much: the reason why we did the Caribbean was because Jerry always was like, I would really like to do a beach biome or a beach season in Minecraft, and I said, bet, let's do it.
And we all saw how that turned out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it looked nice.
It was a very pretty season.
Yeah.
A twist or season you would like to redo?
Hmm. Uh, I would like to redo a twist or a theme. I mean, because I have a lot of just one-off twists. Wow, this okay? Yeah, I know this is supposed to be quick fire, but I would like to redo the Oasis Parchment, where you have to craft an extra vote because we didn't get to see it actually play out. It just goes home in Gum's pocket.
Yeah, it's one of those many advantages that we never get to see. Like that advantage that Sarah got voted off with that we'll probably never see
Mm-hmm.
in the Survivor season.
Right, inheritance advantage.
Or knowledge, yeah, that one. Or knowledge is power. We're never going to see it work.
Mm-hmm.
Person who blew their chance at winning a final tribal.
At Final Tribal, like best person or worst, like that just like screwed it
Uh,
up entirely.
person who screwed up entirely.
I would probably have to say Brady and Legal just because I mean he did not have a lot of stock going in, I don't believe, but him just immediately trying to take credit for moves that Chief did and other people did around him served him no favors, and as you saw, it led to Sinmore literally biting like a dog on the jury, saying that wasn't you. Shut up! Like you don't know what you're doing. So yeah, it would be Brady from Legal.
Yeah, that one. Worst move ever made by someone.
Hmm. Worst move. Wow. Who is the idiot? Worst move. I mean, I mean, I know we mentioned Gum and we mentioned Happy. I think, yeah, maybe we could say All Rank's not playing his idol at the final six of Rorema because, um, he's trying to get tells from everyone, and it just doesn't pan out. And like, he thinks he's masterminding everyone by like asking them questions about, should I play this idol and stuff like that. But no, he looks silly in the process.
One of my favorite things to rewind.
Yeah.
I want just like an hour clip of just that section.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, location or biome or theme you would like to do for a potential future season?
See, I've ran out. I've actually ran out of places because like, I think I've done everything I've wanted to do. I would say probably, um, just somewhere tropical again.
Uh, Survivor Hawaii.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
The first tropical thing, like you can be like have a volcano setting and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why haven't I been cast yet? Don't answer this one.
Oh, it's a dog eat dog world in casting. It's hard. It's hard to get through.
uh, uh, Saddest though off.
Oh, Echo. Or you know what? No, no,
Which
no, no, no. That's a cop out. Gonzo.
Yeah. Just for Echo, I was like, which vote off? You got voted off like 3 times.
Yeah, yeah. I mean Gonzo, because like that's an emotional tribal council to begin with, and everyone loves Gonzo. So yeah, that one hurts. That one hurted.
But they're going to see him again this season. I
Hmm.
remember you posting a vlog, and I think you guys were watching that tribal.
Yep, it was that one.
And like,
I was so lucky to have that episode be the one we were gonna go watch together during the meetup. So yeah, yeah, that was cool just to see the reaction and even the people we were watching with like Shipley's friends being like no and like seeing their faces drop IRL. I was like, damn, I did that. I edited that. I made you feel sad.
the power you have over people's emotions. Most satisfying though off.
Oh, okay. Who was I glad to see finally go home? This might be recency bias, but I would say Bandro from the Nile just because I was just like, he's loud. I'm just all right. I'll just say it. Like he's loud and just like you know he's hard to get a kind of get a hold on in terms of just like production. I don't want to say putting a leash on him, but like basically just like making sure he's contained in a way where we can keep the game moving forward and like be okay on production.
I mean, he was like what 15 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
He
and
was like what 15 years old, like
yeah.
an excited child playing the games,
Mm-hmm.
like.
No, of course, of course, of course.
And finally, your personal favorite moment.
Personal favorite moment. Oh shoot. Oh, you know what? I think this was when I realized like yeah, this show really does mean a lot to people was when uh Landslide shared his story about watching Survivor with his father and playing Minecraft Survivor the Nile um, to in honor of him and his memory and to basically be like, look, Dad, I did it. Um, I hope this makes you happy, that sort of thing, and just the fact that he was able to win the season and win, in my opinion, well, I don't know about commandingly, but I think he's one of my favorite winner games to see. Um, yeah. So yeah, it's just basically. Hold up, sorry guys. And so yeah, just to see him, win the game and just yeah, is to me very impactful because it made me realize I can share this with people and like tell people like this series means something to people and uh, it means that there's a reason and a good enough purpose for me to just keep doing more seasons because it helps people get through things.
Yeah, I mean, I remember like hearing that story from him. I thought it was like very brave of him to like share that with the world.
Mm-hmm.
And talking with him in his interview, it's just like, wow, it's just like
And like,
these are like
yeah,
just,
and like, trust me, when he was going through casting for the Nile, and he mentioned, that story, I was like, honestly, I was very wary because I was just like, are you sure you're okay with like sharing that part of you? And so we made it our mission to make sure he was comfortable with that, and to make sure we were you know doing things as appropriately and as nicely as possible throughout the entire process.
yeah. So shout out to Landslide. You've been holding the winner's throne for a good while now, but it's time for you to take a rest and for the season 9 person to take over.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, that's all I have. Do you want to look at the stream chat and see if there's any questions
Sure
there
thing.
you'd like to answer?
All right, guys, I know it's been a long 90 minutes, but I'm here to finally look at the live chats. If you guys have any questions, I'll try to get through them. I'm going to start with the question on everyone's mind. Trust me, I've been reading the live chat. I don't even think he's here anymore. But it's Green Tip's question. Yes, I'm giving credit to you, Green Tip. Not Sooner, not Sinwar, not JT, none of these other people that are trying to take your thunder here. He says, Chris, what about Defenders versus Offenders season 10? So my answer to that is, what do you mean by that? What's an offender? Like defense versus offense? I mean,
Maybe
in,
it's something like aggressive players versus like under the radar players.
it's an interesting concept, but to be honest, I don't want to be seeing a bunch of UTR players be UTR with each other the entire time. I feel like you have to mix UTR and aggressive players on the same tribe. So would I do that for season 10? Probably not. Next
But I feel
question.
like we got that with season 4 with the whole introverts versus extroverts.
I mean, yeah, that's probably as close as we're gonna get it. Is how long? Next question, Chris. How will you think the elimination order will go from last to first? Why are we asking this question? I am not spoiling my own show. Um,
I can predict this. I don't know what happened. I think a majority of the new people will go home in the pre-merge, and then once the merge happens, all the returnees will be trying to gun each other and pick which uh, pre-merger will be their wing person or their goat to take to the end.
So let's see. Next question. Jack DB asks, "What are some twists you've almost put into some seasons but went back on?" No, I think I've put everything I've ever wanted to at this point, so I don't think there is one. I think I've actually ran out. I think I've ran out of advantages to kind of inject into the game. So I got to think of more things in the kitchen with that.
You can watch other survivor seasons get inspired.
Yeah. Panzerone asks, "Who's a returnee you've been wanting but has blatantly said no all of the time?" To be completely honest, I've been lucky, Panzerone. Everyone that I've ever wanted, they're cool with coming back. So I'm glad that there's some sort of like mutual respect and just a bridge between me and my previous players where they're like, yeah, I'll do it one more time. Screw it. Next question. I hate it. Even Lance, I got on it. Hey, Chris, random thought just popped in my head. What if for season 10 you did something along the lines of offenders versus defenders? Could be a cool original idea. Let me know what you think. I hate all of you. Oh my god. Ivko Kuznetsov. Guten Tag, Christian. I believe season 10 needs to be something fresh and exciting. I believe an offenders versus defenders theme would be fit for the bill. What are your thoughts? Ivko, what are you doing here? Oh my god, even season 7 alumni Kajbi out here asking about offenders versus defenders. Thanks for stopping by, Kajbi.
If you want to defend versus defenders, watch Splat a lot.
Green Tip says, different idea. How about old schoolers versus new schoolers? That's a little weird if we're talking about newbies, because we don't know how an old schooler newbie would be classified versus a new schooler newbie throughout casting.
I think old school would be considered maybe like pre-Legao, and new school is like post-Legao.
Right, no, well, if we're talking about like a new like newbie season, to me, I don't think I would do that. Nifty says, not a question, but just a commenting on what's being said. Season 1 doesn't hold up to the others at all nowadays, but it was still edited well enough where I felt like I could make an edge. Oh, thanks, Nifty. Um, and I think that's what's really made me think that this was going to be a special series in the future. Oh, thanks, Nifty.
Aw.
So Maddie asks about what sparked me to produce seasons in Minecraft Survivor, inspiring the pioneering of the community. That was answered in uh, the previous questions from Lyoko, so you guys can rewind back for that. Chris, do you think this will be your last season? That's Echo asks
No.
because season 10 is a good time to do offenders versus defenders. Um, so, like I said, the way I do things nowadays is I only promise one season at a time because I don't want to get your hopes up. So for now, you're just gonna get season 9. But if I were to ever do a season 10, of course I would let you guys know on it if I'm going to for sure greenlight that. So for now, focus on season 9, and we'll see what happens in the future.
If you
Um,
somehow do season 10, I want the April Fool's video to be like season 10 offenders versus
oh, that'd be
defenders.
hilarious. Now that we've made that a thing. Let's see what else. Um, Tata the Bushman. Someone named Tata the Bushman. If you don't know what that is, who that is, that's the short Filipino guy who was like the reward in Survivor Karamoan, who like
Oh,
was feeling up all the women. So I'm glad that Tata the Bushman's here to ask a question. Who is the greatest Minecraft Survivor character of all time? All right, this one I'll probably say Jackal, just because you get to see him mature from like a kid who will not hold back with like some of like the insults he will say in like confessionals regarding other people or to their faces in the game, to seeing him, become this like Jerry Manthe figure who almost wins the game and plays a really good social game in Minecraft Survivor Heroes versus Villains. Who is my favorite person to edit? Tata the Bushman also asks. Probably no, yeah, I probably would have to say Jackal because I got the taste of him just like being, you know, acerbic and just willing to like really gut punch people in confessionals in seasons 2 and 3, and then to see him really put his heart and soul and go all out in Legal was satisfying.
okay.
Banjo, Chris, was I the most painful contestant you had to deal with? And please be honest, LMAO. Um, to be honest, I don't know if you're number one, but you're probably there around like top five. um, but it's totally fine. I get it. Like, we're all different people. What you call it? The Nile was like 2 or 3 years ago, so we can all change as people. And I've gotten the chance to talk to you outside of games, so there's some things that sometimes we want to leave behind in the past, and it's cool. Um, let's see. I think we're at the bottom almost. Oh yeah. Wow, we're almost there. I see Joma in the chat. Hello, Joma. Let me see if I can get to your question next. Joma, if you could go back and re-edit the seasons, is there anything you would change to make it more entertaining? It's funny that you mentioned that, Joma, because I've had the thoughts. Because, like, Killer Cult Kyle tried to re-edit his seasons 1 and 2. I have had the intrusive thoughts of like you should re-edit seasons 1 through 3 because you could probably get better footage, better shots. So yeah, to make it more entertaining, I would just get better shots, but that would mean we would have to re-choreograph like challenge footage, which I've basically said at this point that's way too much work, and I'm just like, is it really worth that? So for me to sleep better at night, I tell myself, you know what, seasons 1 through 3 were a product of their time. And you know what? You get to see the general progression of the series if I just leave the seasons the way they are, don't re-edit them, because it gives people something to say like, "Hey, Chris had to start somewhere with a season 1. It wasn't the best, but it was like a good pilot." So hopefully that's enough for people to be like, maybe get a little inspiration to say, if Chris had a starting point that wasn't freaking like amazing and like is like the Nile, maybe I can do this too. Um, but
And
yeah,
you just gotta get rid of those times.
like editing and just like doing this YouTube thing it's to me, I consider it like an art form. And I actually had this conversation with JP like a couple days ago where in art, sometimes if you're an artist, by trade or hobby, you look back at some of your drawings that you've done like 3 or 4 years ago, and you go, "Wow, that was really cringy," and just like that's the best I could do. But at the time when you did those drawings 3 or 4 years ago, you were like, "This is the best that I can do, and I'm proud of this." So yeah, I think it's fine to just accept the fact that you just have to be constantly improving and be okay with you're not going to be your best self all the time. Like you will always be improving. Um, TBM, Chris, I've done an org. Oh god, oh god, I've done an org with 100 advantages. So if you need more ideas, hit me up. I will keep that in mind. If you want to just throw your Discord, I guess like tag in the live chat, I'll keep that in mind. Golden says offenders versus defenders, interesting idea. The GG Gamer asks, Chris, how do you think you would do if you ever played on your own show? See, I would never actually do that, which is why I play on other people's shows like, Creed's The Island, Kyle's Minecraft Survivor, Andrew's Minecraft Big Brother, to really get a test of that. But, like, you know, if I played in my own show, there would be this weird, like, power dynamic of, oh, Chris is the host. So I have to, like, kind of bend down to him and do what he wants, because, like, maybe he'll give me a better edit. So I feel like things would be unfairly skewed towards my advantage if I ever played in my own show, that I just wouldn't do it, and I would just try playing on other people's shows instead, and really get a better gauge. Because like then it wouldn't be fun, it wouldn't be fun having this unfair advantage over other people on my own show. And like low key, I feel like it's a little tacky to be like, oh, I won my own Minecraft Survivor. Like that's
I
why.
don't think it's any Ricky season towards you.
Hmm. So that's
But
why I
I don't
also.
think you. I was just gonna say I don't believe you would give up the reins of hosting to anyone
Yeah,
else.
no, that too. I think I have too much of an ego here to be like, I want to give up the hosting gig to someone else. That's why I was April Fool's last year, because like y'all really think I'm gonna give Shipley Kidmoto the hosting reins, or at least right now for Minecraft Survivor? I don't know. Ask me in a couple of years. I don't know. Um, Joel Cool asks, I've heard people say Hokkaido is worse than Sherwood. How do you feel about that? What do you have to say about that? I think what I have to say to that is you need to stay away from some of those people in the community. Sia, what are some of your opinions on people more into the Minecraft game show community that apply for the show? I would say, hmm, if you apply and you're really involved in the community, I really don't care like how many games you've played and how many games you've won and how like strategic and a mastermind you are. If you're applying, I care about who you are as a person. What are your hobbies? What makes you interesting? What makes you tick? And I know I say this, and like there are probably people who have applied or have gone through the process and are saying, "Wow, Chris is like getting on a soapbox right now," but I truly do just want to meet people who are from different walks of life and have different viewpoints, because I'm sorry, I'm not gonna cast like 16 game bots and watch 16 game bots game bot in the confessionals. That's not what makes a Minecraft Survivor interesting. So yeah, you will see people that don't play the game theory optimal, the what should be the meta. So yeah, I think if you just embrace what makes you different and embrace, what makes you you. Again, I get it. It sounds cliche as hell, but that's what you're getting out of me. Just be yourself. Tata the
And
Butcherman. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as someone who's applied and not gone on the season, there's other Minecraft survivors out there, recorded, unrecorded, org ones. So just because you don't get into one doesn't mean you can't get into another.
Mm-hmm. Tata, who had the worst strategy of all time? You would think, okay, if it was a normal season, Korkager trying to start a cult is the worst. I think the worst strategy, because like in any other situation, he's a one and done character after one episode, and Vindicator's Key isn't a thing. But because it was able to win Vindicator's Key, he was able to turn the narrative upside down. Tata, craziest drama you've ever witnessed on Minecraft Survivor? Um, uh, there are a lot of dramas, I'd say. Damn.
I would say the entirety of season 4.
Season four, yeah, like maybe I would say season four, Forations tribal council was pretty dramatic. TBM. Okay, the best maybe. Okay, that's right. I was like, I definitely have seen TBM somewhere, and yes, I've definitely seen the best maybe on Discord. Tata, is there something crazy that I can look forward to in season 9? I would say, just scroll back a little bit in this interview when I say that there's something that's said at a tribal council that sparks a rift between two contestants that really takes takes effect on how the relationships of certain players are going to be for the rest of the game. Um, GG Gamer, Chris, what is a season of the real life Survivor show that you enjoyed that others didn't like? I unironically have One World in my top 3 because I don't like it because they're good people. I like it because it is a train wreck fire all in one, and I can't stop watching it because the people there are just awful human beings. And so sometimes I need my trashy reality TV fix. What can I say? Um,
I'm the same with One World. I don't hate it as much as the audience does.
hmm TBM asks, describe your favorite moment from Hokkaido while being cryptic enough to not spoil anything. Favorite moment? Huh.
This kind of ties into a question I was going to ask at the end. If you were to give us a word or a sentence that would, looking back on the season, if we watch this after it ends, it'd be like, so that's what he meant. So kind of like something to foreshadow an upcoming event
All right,
of
so
season 9.
I'll answer that by answering TBM's. What's my favorite moment in Hokkaido? I guess my favorite moment uh, is basically a super close vote happens, and and well, I don't know. Wait, okay, I gotta I gotta think about this. Um,
That's just weird, like, he can't say at Final 9 when
right,
uh,
I just can't say that. Um,
when it's a 3-3 tie between Chris Blue, Tim, and Swamps, and it goes to Rock,
mhm,
and Court takes it and Rock out.
mhm. My favorite,
I just
my favorite. The thing is just like I literally because the thing is I want to say certain things, but I know even just saying things cryptically enough, people are still gonna read into it and think I'm still spoiling. So I literally can't say. So I guess the only thing I can say is there's a close vote. I guess that like was really cool, and you'll have to figure out which one that is. I guess. Sorry, guys. Um,
we'll just have to wait for the season to premiere in 4 days.
hmm JT getting drunk in All
Wow.
Stars. Yeah, JT did get drunk in All Stars.
Was he actually drunk that season? I thought that was just a rumor.
Oh no, that's true. That's why he
Oh
like.
gosh.
That's why because he has his confessional, which I'm glad he did by the final 10, where he's just like, or I think like the beginning of like Merge, where he's just like, everyone's just being a little bitch. No one wants to say a name, and just like, bro, like, just choose a name. You're gonna hurt someone's feelings anyway. Just like, why is everyone wasting the time not choosing a name to jump on? So that's because he's drunk, which I'm glad he gave me that confessional. Um, Marcos, when I watched Quirkiger returning was the worst possible outcome for me. Now I'm glad he came back. Nice. Yeah, things change. All right, I'm gonna cut it off after Shane O's question. So
Yeah, we have lives.
yeah, Sia, was it ever a fear of yours when making the season that the returnees would overshadow the new players in the season? 100% Sia. 100%. That's why I wanted to cast, in my opinion, the most like capable newbies and first timers that I could cast because um, I had the same philosophy that I did in the Nile, where the reason why I did an age divide in the Nile was because I was like, yeah, I do notice this weird trend where like older people tend to win this game. So I was just like, let's do young versus old, except let's really cast very capable young people to really stick it to the old people. So because everyone loves a good underdog story that can take it to the overdogs. So in my mind going into season 9, the returnees are the overdogs, and we really want to find newbies that we're going to be really likable and rootable for so that they could be the natural underdogs because like these second timers, they've already had their time, right? It would be nice to see some people from the newbies really stick it to the returnees and say, this is my island now. Shane O, um, what is your personal favorite season from a behind the scenes standpoint? I'm sorry, what is your favorite season from a behind the scenes standpoint? Love the videos, keep up the great work. Favorite from behind the scenes. You know what? I'm gonna say that's probably recency bias, but probably the Nile, just because it was during COVID, and I remember we were going at the start of quarantine into like online classes, online lectures from my college. I was in my last semester of senior year in college. I was basically tapped out, and I said, "Screw this shit. I don't want to. I don't. I don't want to be in like lectures that won't matter in the job that I'm going to be working at 3 months from now." So it was like those were like the best like couple months of my life doing pre-production for the Nile, because even though I should have been like listening on lectures, I was doing interviews for season 8. I was getting to know people. I was overseeing the building and the production of challenges and the builds for the season. And yeah, like it was great just doing all the things in Minecraft Survivor that I told myself I wasn't going to do, but because COVID hit, I did it. I was doing it again, and I said, I don't care about school right now. All right. All right. I'm gonna cut this off in 3 minutes. So Dizzy, because I want to get a couple more here. Dizzy, is that an Oshawott skin? Yes, Lyoko is an Oshawott.
Well, my favorite Pokemon of all time. He's the best.
Dizzy asks, also I'll ask a question. When you started uploading your series, how many seasons did you initially plan on creating? My roadmap at the time of season one at maximum was six, because I knew I wanted to do All Stars at 5 or 6, and I said, if All Stars is going to be the last one, I'm okay with putting the bow on top of this series and saying, at least I did this, and I can move forward with the next chapter of my life. And here we are at season 9. It's this series is still a part of the chapter in my life. I would even say these seasons are different eras and different chapters of my life. Like season 1 through 3 could be like this older era. 4 through 6 is like this more like new school era and different part of my life. And season 7 through 9 up till now are this era of me trying to balance doing things in my social life, but still coming back to doing this series online. JP asks, question to Lee Chris, what are your favorite Minecraft Survivor skins from each season? From each season? Oh God. Um, all right, I'll try to make this quick. I know you're trying to pull my leg, JP. Favorite one from one, Dizzy,
Yeah,
because
this is
yeah, he's a samurai, right? So,
Pokemon.
um, number two, Echo. Number th-
Mine's very
yeah,
yeah.
number three. See, I would just say Echo. Oh no, Infernox. Infernox is
It's
3.
kind of the best thing.
4 is Sinwar because he has bunny slippers. Yeah. Number 5, I think I'd probably have to say Jason. Number 6, Infernox again. Number 7, Tim. Number 8 is. Oh shoot, this is hard. I'm gonna say Gonzo, and then if we want to say for Hokkaido, that one is gonna be. Give it to a newcomer, Luigi.
Oh yeah, Luigi is a great skin.
Delma
That
asks,
sounds really good.
"What's your favorite little Andy track?" Probably like Glock on My Cock Part 2. Um, all right, let's see. Will there be an All Stars 2? Oh Bailey, that is something you'll just have to stay tuned for. Just because I don't like making promises for seasons that are past the current one. Because I don't want my word to be binding. Um, the GG Gamer. Who was the most surprising player from seasons 1 through 8 that subverted your expectations in terms of gameplay? Okay, so who legitimately surprised me coming into who just knowing what I thought I was getting going into the season? Probably Ben from season 2. He almost won. Well, he almost won Rorema. He was one vote away from beating Jerry. So that is crazy.
Yeah, that's definitely hard to believe.
Yeah.
I'm just going to answer one question I saw in the chat that was weirdly directed for me. My favorite returning player, I'm just going to say Bayback just because he's been a long time friend.
Mm-hmm.
ever since I even first joined Discord. So kind of always have to root for him whenever I see him in the season.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if there are any more things in the chat. Chris, please get Andrew to bring him back. Get who? Wait, oh, little Andy? Do a collab with little Andy. Dude, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Like, I mean, I've always had like this inner rap star in my mind, right? But like, you know, and it would be a bit out of my comfort zone, but it is something I wouldn't mind trying to experiment if like the opportunity did come up. Happy, who was your favorite interview to do of all time?
This one,
Um,
obviously.
I think it's Corkager because he straight up says, "I am gonna start a cult, and it's gonna work. Trust me." And he says stuff like, "People think I'm a blowhard," and like he had the same exact energy you see on the Caribbean in the interview because we're just sitting there like, is this kid being dead ass right now? And given how he is in Caribbean, and I'll just say it, how he is in Hokkaido, yes, he's being dead ass.
Ooh.
Um,
I still can't believe you casted Vision, Corkager, and
yes.
Jonas in the
Oh yeah, I know
same
what I'm
season.
doing. I don't know what I'm doing with that. I'm very aware. Last question.
No, you-
Last question, and we'll end off the stream. Jonas, or I'm sorry, um, Chilku asks, what other active hosts will you recommend? Um, see, I wish I knew. I wish I knew, but I will say this, because like the thing is right. Like I don't spend a lot of time nowadays like checking other people's content out. I mean, I didn't really do that to begin with prior to me like having less of an online presence. Um, but so I can't give you like a fully what's the word, educated response to this. But if there's someone I guess that I could maybe you know I'm trying to find the right word. I'm sorry guys. I could encourage people to maybe check out, even though there are no episodes of it out yet. But I've people through the grapevine, right, have told me like, oh yeah, this person has put out a call it, a preview slash like teaser for their season. Someone that I think maybe would be worth checking out is Joma's Minecraft Survivor. I don't know if he's doing a season one, but like he is doing like a season where I didn't get to watch the entire promo and preview, but I thought it was a really interesting take that he wanted to take this approach of just like, I'm gonna record a real life cold open and incorporate Minecraft Survivor in between, uh, you know, those things. Because like, to be honest, like Joma, I know he's like a part of the community, albeit maybe in certain parts of the community that like I wouldn't be a part of nowadays or really ever. And so, from what I've heard, there is he has this interesting concept of like, we keep seeing the same faces over and over and over again in these damn shows. And he's saying, you know what? Let's go find new faces. Let's go find new faces. So that's to me, that's how I think you build a brand and you actually, go out there and differentiate yourself and have people give you a reason to say maybe I'll throw a subscription, maybe I'll keep following you in your journey. So, yeah, even though there's no episodes out yet, just because that's the only thing I've really seen like recently. Maybe that and like Lil Andy himself with his Minecraft Survivor Eternal Oasis coming out as well. Maybe that's another one that I would throw out and shout out. And then Kyle Kilp as well, even though he doesn't do this anymore. If we're saying someone that's like trying to be up and coming and just like current, I say maybe give Joma a shot.
If I'm gonna give one shout out for bias reasons, I would check out Echoes. He's doing a rebrand of his Survivors. He has a mini fully out that I just happen to be in, as well as the first episode of his revamped season one that I helped record. So if you want to get one for a familiar face hosting, check out Echoes. And I'd also throw JP's in there just because it's kind of
Oh,
crazy.
of course. I feel bad. Yes, of course. Also, check out JP's because he's 3 seasons strong. He's going into a fourth, and he also has his own brand where he literally likes
So,
he loves old school. He loves the old school era and the old school just vibe that um it's different enough for him. It's different enough from like I guess what I've done and like what other content creators have done to really give you that JP stamp of this is my Survivor. So yeah,
You
that's.
really, yeah, you really love a good theme and a weird twist.
Oh, wait, what? Oh yeah, he will always do something like that. Um, so yeah, that's about it. We are here at the 2 hour mark, so thank you guys for sticking around. I had a great time doing this interview. Thank you, Lyoko, for reaching out for doing this because I mean it kind of turned out more like a podcast, but you know what? This is what I love doing, talking to you guys and like getting to still stay in contact with the community in some way. Like I know I'm not like a very present face in like the deep innards of the community, but I just want to let you guys know, you know, I'm around, and I know um, I try to keep an eye out on things on the goings ons of this community, because people talk, things do go through the grapevine. But thank you, Lyoko, for hosting this interview.
Yeah, thank you for agreeing to do this. I know I joked about not being on the season, but the ultimate reason why I want to do like stuff like this and why I started the whole interview thing was just like be a part of this community in some way, where you don't have to like go onto a season just to be a part of it and get to talk to these people. Like these are just people you can send them a hi message and they do respond.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of just like it's an excuse to talk about a show we all love in a unique way.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks again for agreeing to you.
Of course, and I'll wrap this up with also, guys, like, you know, I know there's like this weird perception, guys, that like I'm this untouchable person or whatever, but just remember, I'm just a guy with like a really strange obsession with doing survivors on Minecraft. I'm not that crazy. Like I would say, you know, I still read things that happen in my Minecraft Survivor Discord. I try to message here and there and be involved in those discussions when I can. So yeah, I'm just a fan, just like you. I think honestly, I'm more or less kind of like an Arissa Cox, because Arissa Cox now she's like the EP of like BB Can, but we all know she's a damn. We all damn well know she is a fan first, because when they took live feeds off from BB Can this season, she cryptically said on Twitter, it wasn't my idea. Just know I would have loved to have given live feeds to the fans. So I'm trying to listen and hear you guys out there on the Discord and Minecraft Survivor streets.
Yeah. He's just a real person, just like the rest of us. He does stupid things. We've all seen them.
I've been a cringy 18-year-old, 16-year-old as well. So yeah,
I
this
mean, if you watch the vlogs,
oh,
you'll
you'll know. Oh yeah, you'll know.
yeah.
All right.
We all remember that karaoke night.
Oh, that karaoke night was something else. There was another karaoke night last summer, but yeah, you'll see that in the vlog whenever I get that out. And yeah, thank you guys for sticking around for 5-6 years of Minecraft Survivor. I cannot wait to see you guys see you guys in the live chat for Minecraft Survivor Season 9 Hokkaido New Bloom at 8 p.m. EST this Thursday, April 6th. So yeah, thank you guys for all your support, and I hope I can keep providing content and being a person and a face for you guys to just give you warm happiness. I don't know why I said that, but thank you guys so much for everything, and I hope you enjoy season 9. Chris out.
Later.